3, 2.
Hi guys, good evening. Welcome back to Get Sassy. Well, I'm very excited this week because we're going to be talking about relationships, but we're also going to be talking about my second favorite thing, and that's about the other world. Psychics, crystal balls, crystals. How do you really know if these things are real? How do you really know how to use these tools? And how do these people that are giving you the tools know if you're getting the right tools or somebody else's vibration? So this week is going to be a compilation of therapists that are also somewhat clairvoyant, clairaudient, which of course I'll go on about that later. But I wanted to get through today because I have a very special guest from LA, and I'm hoping that you'll be able to see her. Sadly, we don't have a setup that's working today, so we're working with the old-fashioned iTech and iPad and the computer background. So with that being said, if Elizabeth Vargas from Good Morning America and Then Some in 2020 can do it, then so can I. Anyway, I want to introduce you to JoJo. She is the celebrity to the stars, right, JoJo? Welcome to the show.
I am so delighted. You are a star yourself.
You know what? Yeah. Sadly, I can't beg to differ on that one, but a different type of celebrity, the reality celebrities, right?
Yeah. In my world, since I'm very little, this is one thing I am absolutely certain of. Whoever you are, whatever sign you are, everyone is a star.
I love it. Did you guys get that? You're all stars.
Everybody is unique. There's only one like you. One Samantha. One Jojo.
Thank goodness for that.
One whoever is there listening. Isn't that magical and a miracle in itself?
Yeah, but I think it's probably better for the universe that there's only one of me, because that would be like suicide.
No, you are magical in every way. Are you kidding? You're a free Sagittarius spirit. We need people like you. Because
I did not tell her that.
You bring people out of the box.
Oh, I did not tell you that. This is good. So she's already starting to pick up on things. It is true, I'm a Sagittarius. And Sagittarians are known for being in celebrities, right? Entertainment field, and very outgoing, outspoken, and sky's the limit, right?
Yes, and they have that ability to attract the favors of people because they have that magnetism. It's also the luckiest sign of all. That's why people flock around them normally, because they irradiate that extraordinary magnetism that people want a piece of them. So people want a piece of you.
You guys, did you hear that? You all want a piece of me. I like her even better now. So, JoJo, how long have you been reading for people? Because you've been in LA for a while. How long?
I've been, since I could remember, since 5 years old.
Oh, my goodness.
I've been born with a gift. And of course, when you're little, you don't know these things because we always think everybody thinks the way we think. Until I realized, at 5 years old, I predicted the death of my brother, but I connected with him until I was 14 years old. After that, I knew he reincarnated because I could not connect with him. I was not able to connect with him anymore. But after that, I used to read hands and handwritings. Sometimes I used to read like objects or people, animals.
Isn't that called psychometry?
It's just, I would know that if I would be sitting at the lunch or at the dinner and suddenly somebody's talking, I would have some kind of vision and they would ask about a certain question and I would just answer it and I would just know about it. So I'm really good at that. I have also a good reputation, you wouldn't believe, something amazing, because my Jupiter master in my chart is very well aspected to the 8th house, so I'm very good also for lucky numbers. I've had in my life 7 big lottery winners. Even when I was little, when people used to ask me all kind of questions about it's just a natural thing. Plus, I added a lot of life experience, and I've studied with the best all over the world. I've studied in India, and I have a little bit of potpourri to throw in all my clients, a little bit of everything. So I do hand reading, my biggest and most favorite tool of all is astrology, because the astrology gives you a blueprint of who you are and a map of all the possibilities of you are. Because remember, everything is perfect. My line is, and I assure everyone, we are all perfect children of a perfect universe with infinite possibilities. And as our great creator is, we are small creators, and our destiny is to create a life that is spectacular and marvelous. And in life, there's no problem. There's no such thing as problem. It's always a solution. Without, you see, like what you've done this morning to set this whole up, you maneuvered. And without having the problem, you would never know how amazingly creative and inventive you are. So we always have to look at life in that, the soul. A psychic who is good is somebody who brings out the light and the goodness and the positivity of who you are. A psychic is somebody who sees you in the soul. People have to be very careful. If people come in negative predictions without a solution in hand, this is not a good psychic. It's not a good coach for your soul. So it's always it's supposed to uplift you, and it's supposed to direct you, guide you towards being the best you could be. Okay. And that's my job, and I've been doing this forever. And it's funny because in my late 20s, I ended up on TV just like that naturally. So, and from there I became the Canadian astrologer after the news and CTV. So every day people saw me morning, afternoon, lunch, and night. That horoscope after the news, the horoscope lady was me. And I was able, from there, to create a beautiful clientele and reach out with different people just to share with them maybe the knowledge about their bodies, their morphology, their body language, their handwriting power, the hands, what it means. You see the Jupiter, the Saturn.
Yeah.
All these things about hands. One day we could do something maybe like a palmistry. But the whole key is to also, the universe is like a huge clock, and it points the needles at different places of everybody's life. So let's say this year, Jupiter, the planet of good fortune, is in Cancer, moving to Leo in July. So all those signs, water signs and fire signs especially, after the month of July, you're going to be blooming like a flower out of an incredible, situation. So that means it's time for harvest. It's time for reward. And so everybody, every year, next year in 2015, Leo and Virgo. After that, it will be Virgo and Libra. And now the one who are most challenged is Scorpio. Like, let's see what's happening right now in Ukraine. It's a Virgo with Scorpio rising, and Russia is a Scorpio country. And it's funny because even Putin is a Libra Scorpio with a lot of Scorpio on this planet. So you see why certain countries are more affected than others in a certain time, because it has a lot to do with the sign and that particular energy. But
so, Jojo, sorry to interrupt you. We're actually going to get ready for a commercial break. You've got so many great things to talk about. When we get back, I want to talk to you about when you were 5 years old. I want to learn more about the feeling that you had that gave you that gift. So with that being said, you guys, this is really interesting, right? We'll be back in 5, so stay tuned.
Love you.
I love her. Hi guys, welcome back to Get Sassy. Well, as you know, we are here today with JoJo, Psychic to the Stars in LA. We're here in freezing cold, the New York Metro market, and she is in beautiful 80, 70, and 80 degree weather. I think we are missing something here. We were just talking about how, to tell if a psychic is real, or if it's a bunch of BS. And obviously, JoJo, she's got a lot to say. And one of the things that I have found, and I know a lot of you out there, we wonder how these people are given gifts. For years, people have told me that I have a kind of a seventh sense about people. Some used to call it paranoia until they realized that my gut was sending me messages were actually really good ones. And whether that's psychic or gut, to be questionable. You have to believe in what you believe in. And for me, I use my gut as a tool. If I do visit psychic, I do love to do it for entertainment, but again, using it as a tool. So, JoJo, I think most of my viewers are going to want to know how, when you were 5 years old, you said you've known since you were 5 years old, what was the first thing that came to you at 5 years old and made you feel like you could tell things about other people or to be able to forecast kind of a future?
I just did. I had a special connection with animals. I used to talk to animals. I had a special connection to be able to see the soul part of people. The greatest gift that I think that was a little unusual, and I thought everybody had it, I'm able to see auras. Now, through the Skype and through any media, we cannot see auras, but when you see people or things, you see a vibration around people. Because remember, you are above all a soul that is eternal, that is a piece of God, in the mortal body. We're all passing by here, but the real you comes from an eternal, extraordinary divine spark that is in the body that will go back as a divine spark by the time ever. So nobody should ever feel guilty. So what a psychic has is the ability to look at the finished painting. It looks at the energy. It's an energy reader. When you talk to me about your gut, you feel the gut. The gut is where the soul kicks in. This is where the soul inhabits. This is in your belly. You know when you get those feelings you're in love, that with somebody you don't even know why, you go like, ah!
In love?
Or you get that hurt or that pain, the feeling of love. Or you feel that maybe you shouldn't do something, you know. So this is, because your soul, it lives right here under the heart, right in the belly, in the solar plexus. When you're born into the body, you go through the solar plexus, then you go to the heart, then you go to the mind. So the psychic feeling, everybody out there is psychic. We all have the ability to have a reading energy. We do that all the time. Except a psychic, somebody has a bigger, it's a karmic, extraordinary gift that you've been working on for many lives before, and you just know. You look at somebody and you just see things, and you know, and if somebody, and that's that you, even when I was 7 years old, after I predicted the death of my brother, I told my mom, put my brother in the cupboard, the angels are coming him, he's going on the train to heaven. It was straight because we were in the summer on the house, on the mountain, and the train was going around, but there was a huge fence. So that possibility of my brother being killed by a train was not a possibility. So my mother told me, please don't say that, and she said, stay away, don't say things like that. And very angry. I said, please put Bernard, my brother, in the cupboard. The train, the angel is going to go in the train. And she says, no, she's not going to get out. So 3 days after I said it, that's exactly what happened, sadly.
That's very unfortunate. Very unfortunate.
Yeah, it was very, but I saw him in the soul. So for me, the experience was different from my mom and dad and everybody around because, and I did tell her, I said, but I see him and I talk to him. For her, it was difficult to understand that principle. So then I learned the difficulty to be a psychic when you're young is especially with a very religious upbringing. I was raised Catholic, and I loved the whole Jesus Christ and all that stuff. The only thing when I was a little girl at 5 years old, if you did anything like that, it was not looked upon as something good. So, but then it stopped telling me this, but
she talks longer than I do, and she doesn't even take a breath. I'm jealous.
And I am able to connect the dots, and that's a psychic. If people want to know if a psychic is good, check how good they are with the past. Number one, if they could tell your past, they could tell your future. Number two, do you feel good when you have a reading with somebody? Do you feel better? Do you feel uplifted? That's the kind of people you want to hang out with, because the purpose of a psychic is to guide you towards being the best you could be. Look at me. I'm talking to you and my birds are singing in your house.
I was wondering, you sound like you, excuse me, have a zoo in your house. Yeah, I like that.
Animals heal the body, cats heal the soul.
Yes.
They make us dream bigger and fly higher to reach for the stars.
I believe it.
Yeah, and I think animals, anybody who has health issues or anybody who has a tendency to be too sensitive, sometimes it would be, I advise them to get at least a nice little cat or a little birdsy or a little fishy, something that the animal kingdom is completely connected to the divine force. So it does bring you that divine and it reconnects you to your soul. So the whole psychic phenomena is just to be able to see and understand better that we are above all. It's a soul. We have that pure energy which is divine, and we need to work with it. And it's good that people every day meditate to get back to the soul. And it's good that people observe. If people pay more attention maybe to synchronicity. This year the good news is, guess what? It's the year of the wood horse. After the year 2013, that was the snake year that just
there was a snake, all right.
A lot of people went through lot of changes in 13 because it's a snake. The snake came in, shed the old to get us ready for the new.
Does that, Jojo, sorry to interrupt you. Does that mean that if we're out with old, that Obama will be canned and we'll get a better president?
No, I do a lot of political prediction, and I look at it always in a very objective way. He's a Leo. the United States is
No.
cancer, and it's
Really?
the debt is rising.
President Obama, Leo, my God, he's not conceited in any capacity at all. No.
May I invite you to maybe just let's look at all the two sides of everything.
Okay.
Flowers grow in manure, okay? And now the most beautiful flowers is all. Nobody is perfect either way in politics. And at the end of the day, we're very lucky to have all. Without the politicians, we wouldn't have a political body. Therefore, we wouldn't have a society where we could make a living and be protected and stuff like that. Yeah, I always like to look at the positive.
Right.
I think that the fact that we have a black guy in the political world, the symbol of this is a very good thing. Personally, I think that all presidents, they bring something good. Bush brought something good. Reagan brought something good.
I still trying to think of
Clinton brought
Bush
something
and
good. So let's
Obama bringing something good.
One thing about this guy, at least I know
I
what
don't
he's
think
talking.
so.
It's a Leo bull, so the intent is pure. How he works it out is another thing. But
Yes.
I'll give you a little prediction. In July,
You know, Jojo, before you go into that, I know we're actually going to get ready for a commercial break. We are so limited on time, so this is part one of a part two series. So show one day. So we're going to keep you on hold here. You guys, we're going to be right back, and when we come back,
to tell your beautiful viewers if they want to reach me and Skype with me and give them JoJoSavard.com.
I will be sure to give that at the very end. She's a salesperson too. I love it. We are going to go in for a commercial break. When we return, we're going to test JoJo with myself and see if I have anything interesting happening for this year. So we're going to go to our sponsors, and we'll see you back in 5. Hi guys, welcome back to Get Sassy. Well, this is the last portion of our show, and this is again part one of a 2-day show. We've been speaking with JoJo, Psychic to the Stars. She's been doing this for, over 2 decades, and she's got a lot of great insights. I know a lot of you guys are very, it's kind of one of those things when you think about psychics, you kind of wonder how do they get in our head? How do they feel things about us? And some are about vibration, some are about aura, some are about jewelry, clairvoyant, clairaudient. Again, vibration seems to be a big one. You know, JoJo seems to be a very honest psychic because, again, in telling us that she can't really tell anything from a Skype interview, but vibrations might be different, but an aura might not be something that's suitable. So that might be a tool for you to look at. And again, I'll review kind of some tips about what to look for if you guys are going into psychic readings. So with that being said, JoJo, welcome back to the show again. And so
I'm connecting to your Sagittarius good fortune because remember, you're the best, the luckiest sign of all. So every time you
I'm lucky.
People, you bring them luck. Aren't we lucky?
You know, I seem to bring lots of people luck, and then I pick up on their bad luck. That's not good.
You know what you have to do with this? If you are very energy sensitive, surround yourself with a beautiful white light. When you're picking up some dark energy, surround yourself with a white light, and it will protect you. If you say nothing negative could touch me, nothing negative could touch me in a white light, and nothing will touch you. They can't. No dark entity or no dark anything cannot enter the light. So you do that.
I love that. Yay, I love it. So now, do you have any special tools? Because we're going to end this show. We're going to go into part 2. Any tools, like maybe 3 of your best tools of what to look out for those who are very into the mystical world of psychics and clairvoyance and medium. And you also said you do communicate with past life. Is that correct?
Yeah, because when you do regression, when you do a chart, there's a part of it that it's karma, okay? So you call that the node of the moon, and when you do a chart, you know everything about somebody. You know the past, the potential, the present, and you know where they're going, and you know the potentiality. What is beautiful with the star world, like the way God invented it, it's like it proposes, but at the end of the day, you are the one to decide from the different kind of potentiality. So astrology is definitely one of the best tools that everybody should have their chart done.
Yes.
You need to have your chart done. Number 2, the morphology means, let's say I do a Skype reading. Just looking at the person's face, I'll be able to read a lot of energy into this, so I'll give me a cue of where the energy settled at that time. Number 2, You have palm reading that gives you also, it's all to do with stars. This is Venus, this is Jupiter, this is Saturn, this is the Sun, this is Mercury, and then it's polarized. Everybody has 10 fingers unless something happened, and everybody has 10 toes.
3, 4, 5, 10. Yep, they're all there.
Like people have a lot of confidence. This finger is usually longer than this one. People are super creative and usually psyche. That finger here is longer than this one.
So this one here is longer than the middle finger?
The Sun finger is always an expression of creativity and also psychic ability. When it's long,
I must really be in trouble because none of my fingers are longer than that middle finger. That's that.
Yeah. People who are leaders of countries, people who are leaders in their lives, or the people even in a relationship, let's say a woman, she wears the pants in the relationship, she's always going to have that long, big Jupiter. It's going to be long like this, and this is going to be shorter. People usually are more loving and much more working with other people with compassion and tolerance. This finger is usually longer. People who are good in business and make tons of money, they usually have some extra, they have good Mercury. That's the business and the mind finger. And sometimes when people, let's say they have a financial situation that is very low and they're struggling with money, first of all, I give them the lottery numbers and I have a lot of winners. Yep. Number two, what I do is I make lines, I create lines. I'll take a pencil and I'll create this is a line where money is, okay? So what I do is I'll just,
look at Jess, she's so busy already. She's getting a phone call.
I'll just do a line in order so people, they will learn to increase the power to accept more money in their lives. So depending on what they want to increase, so especially with Skype or in person, what is wonderful is that you're able to really see the energy.
I don't know how she
Some
does
people
that.
sometimes you do just phone calls.
I can talk for hours, you guys.
So
So all my friends out there,
directly to the soul.
she beats me by a landslide. Jojo, we're going to end the show, going into part 2, but we're going to start the show because I know a lot of my fans and people are watching and are very curious to hear about some celebrities and people that you've spoken to, and also then I'm curious to see what kind of reading we'll have for myself at the end. Obviously, I love that. So with that being said, thank you for joining us for this half of the show. Thank you guys for tuning in. We're going to have a part 2.
You're magical and you're true and authentic. I love you.
I think I need to put her in my pocket with me. You're like a lucky leprechaun. I will see you guys tomorrow. Have a good evening.